Hey YouTubers, it's me, Zipster. I was just thinking about my dad today. You know, I think about him a lot. You know how that is. But he was some kind of guy, let me tell you. I'll tell you a quick story here about him. Well, not about him. Well, you'll get the picture. Okay, I grew up in one of those neighborhoods. It was all just row homes, and everybody was up everybody else's butt, not literally. But everybody knew everybody's business. You knew everything about everybody. So there was like a whole bunch of boys in the neighborhood, a whole bunch of girls in the neighborhood, like any neighborhood, I guess. And I know this isn't going to come as a big surprise to you, but I didn't really fit in all that great with the boys. As a matter of fact, I kind of used to avoid them because they were a little abusive, but whatever. But I did have some really good gal pals on the street, and one of my favorites, she lived 4 houses down. Her name was, how could I forget? Oh yeah, Bonita. But we called her Bonnie because, Bonita, ew, that's so formal. And these were back in the days when, like, I don't know if kids did this, like, everywhere, but everybody in our neighborhood, like, when you were going to, like, when you wanted Bonita to come out and play with you, you wouldn't, like, knock on the door or anything. You would just stand outside and say, "Hey, Bonnie! Hey, Bonnie!" And, I mean, everybody all over the neighborhood, this is what we did. It was like a nut house. And then Bonnie would come out and play, and right across the street moved in this new family. There was a pair of twins. They had like 8 kids or something. There was a whole mess of them. But the oldest one's name was Maria. Now, I don't know what they call it now because they keep changing names of things so that everything's like politically correct. But let me just put it this way. She was in this special class at school. And I'm not talking special good class. I'm talking special other, special where there were kids like... I don't know how that worked. There were like some kids were like 8 and some were like 18, and they were all lumped into this same group. I guess they were slow learners or something like that. But anyway, somehow Maria latched on to me and Bonnie. Okay, so we used to hang out together, and then we had heard from the boys that there was like this haunted house, like that was kind of within walking distance of our neighborhood. But you had to go up like this big long dirt road. I mean, like 2-mile long dirt road, and then way out in the middle of this field was this big old house. And it wasn't really haunted, it was just decrepit is what it was. It was like falling apart, like there were big holes in the floor that went right through, and the stairs were all like busted up and stuff. But one day me, Bonnie, and Maria decided we were going to check out the haunted house. So it's like 10 o'clock in the morning, and we're all like telling our parents, yeah, we're going to check out the haunted house. And they're like, okay, well, just, don't go in because, just go look at it and then come back home. And we're like, yeah, okay, fine. Well, now you know how that goes. As soon as we got there, we had to like go booking all around. So like we covered the whole first floor, and then getting up the steps was like treacherous because like you had to like cling to the sides where there still was a little bit of wood left, and like climb up and stuff. But the place is great. Anyway, so yeah, we were having a really good time there. And we wound up hanging out for a really long time. And at one point, I don't know how it happened, I don't know what precipitated it, but all of a sudden, Maria was completely naked and sitting in like in a windowsill, on a windowsill, because there were no windows, the windows were all broke out. So Maria's completely naked, I'm running around in my panties, and Bonnie's just running around in her panties because she didn't even need a bra yet, because I think I was like 9, and Bonnie was maybe 10, and Maria was like 12 or 13, okay, because she was like the big one of the group. But I don't know how we ever decided to get naked. But as it turns out, we were there, we got there at like 11:30 or something, 10:30, whatever. It took us like a half hour to walk up to this place. And all of a sudden, we didn't even know it. We're all running around in our naked glory, and all of a sudden I hear, "Zipster!" And I'm like, oh my God, that's my father! So we go scrambling like hell to put our clothes back on. Okay, great. So now he's out front. So we're thinking we'll have a little more time to put our clothes on if we run out the back door and run around the front, because then you can kind of put stuff on as you're running or something like that. Anyway, I fell on a big piece of slate, and it like went right into my kneecap. And so I had a big piece of slate sticking out of my knee, and there was blood gushing all over the place, and blah, blah, blah. My dad had to carry me back to the car, all this big mess. Okay, fine. So what? Story's over? Yeah, no, not quite. So, okay, I got yelled at. It's like, what the hell were you doing up there? You were gone all day. We were so worried about you. Thank God we knew where you were to go looking for you, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, okay, that's the end. After a while it's forgotten. I was grounded for a little while, whatever. But then, like, the next summer, okay, one day my mom is out doing, whatever, and my dad's babysitting us. And I'm torturing my sister. I used to love to torture my sister. I'm torturing her like crazy, and she's just like whining and crying, and you know how that is. And my dad was just getting sick to death of it. So all of a sudden he calls me in. He's like, "Zipster, get over here for a second." So I go over and I'm like, "What?" And he said, "If you don't knock it off, I'm going to tell your mother what I saw at the haunted house. My jaw dropped. I'm like, what do you mean? Long story short, it turns out he had been there before he started yelling out front for us, and he had been spooking around the house, and he saw us being naked and running around and touching Maria's, and stuff. Oh, but to think that a guy could keep that in for a whole damn year, man, that just amazes me. He was just waiting for the right opportunity to let me know he knew what the hell was going on. Oh, yeah. I like that guy. Okay, just wanted to share with you. I'll talk to you later. Thank you.